Come on out to Brown Mountain Bottle Works at 115 East Union Street in Morganton, North Carolina, the place to be for great craft beer. Browse their shelves with hundreds of craft beer selections. Relax and enjoy one of their 12 draft taps. Check them out on the Untapped app for their current draft beer selections and go to their website to see the latest beer offerings and events at www.brownmountainbottleworks.com. We'll see you there.
Camera, we're the NC Beer guys. Welcome to another episode of the NC Beer Buzz. We find our way to Charlotte, and we love coming to Charlotte, and we particularly love coming to Charlotte when there's something new and wonderful to talk about, which there almost always is. Every time you come to freaking Charlotte, there's something good and wonderful happening in the beer or the cider scene. Today we're at the brand new, as of last night, GoodRoad Cider Company. So GoodRoad Ciderworks, I'm sorry, let me get it right. We're on Southside Drive with Rick and Brian, the co-founders, the ciderist, the cider makers, and the sales manager.
Yes.
And they've had us in, like I said, they just opened last night and had a big blast on St. Paddy's Day. And they still have cider left today. So we want to come by. It's always great to see something that's wonderful. And of course, cider is something that's up and coming in the beer world. And more and more you see people that are craft beer appreciators want to know about cider. And cider's been around as long as beer's been around. It's just not got the same, let's say, cachet or infamous quality about it. So we're going to learn something about ciders today and learn particularly what's going to set GoodRoads apart from other ciders you might have known and once loved. So thanks for having us in.
Thanks for being here.
And you're upright still after last night, after the first night in.
A little sore.
Had a good night.
Doing well.
Some bruises from the first day.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. But it had to be a wonderful feeling after all this trial and getting here, you finally could say we're open.
Yes, it was a long road. We opened our
was it a long road? What was the planning for this thing?
We took us 2 years to find this space.
Knowing you wanted to do something and really being not just casually looking either. I mean,
we were actively looking for property, and then December of 2015 signed the lease here.
Okay.
So went through the planning, worked through all of that, started construction. I think it was April or May of 2015, and then finally March. Or 2016, I'm sorry.
Right.
And then March of this year, obviously, opened our doors. So it's been a long haul.
Now, did you have a lot of criteria or parameters on a location? What was your want list?
Obviously, nice tap room, an event room has always been part of our business plan from day one. So we needed a space that could accommodate that as well.
Right.
Room for growth in the production area, because our plan has always been to do both ciders and meads.
Okay.
And the market obviously is taking off with both of those. So we wanted room for growth, both from an event space, tap room, and the production area as well.
Okay. And always wanted to be in a particular area of Charlotte, or not necessarily?
We spent probably 90% of our time looking at the South End area.
Because there's some synergy going on here.
Yes.
And that, I mean, you want to build on that and build off of that, right?
Right, absolutely. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, tough to complain about when your neighbors are 2 breweries and 2 distilleries.
And that are up and coming, and everybody's hearing more and more about it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And people kind of come down the street, there's a cider.
Yep.
Let's give that a shot.
Absolutely.
So let's hear your story. How did we come to be here? You guys were home brewers, I think.
Yes.
For many years.
And
became cider makers. Or was that both of your stories or not?
Well, I started home brewing in '94.
I started home brewing in '95. Yeah.
So, and part of the brew club here.
Carolina
Brewmasters.
Yes.
Carolina Brewmasters.
Yep. Joined them back in 2005. And around probably 7-8 years ago, started making cider. I read an article that said how this guy was making cider, and he literally took a carboy, dumped some juice in it, threw some yeast in it, shook it, walked away, and had cider 2 weeks later. Okay. I was like, well, I can do that.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Right. Just like the first time you did that 5-gallon batch of homebrew, right?
Right, absolutely. Right. So did it, was hooked immediately, and started making more and more cider. And then a couple years ago, well, about 3.5, 4 years ago now. Got the green light with my wife and I. We decided to do something.
It
And
was time in life to do something.
yeah, it was time to do it, and we had always talked about it, and we figured we'd probably end up starting a brewery. And at the time, there were, I think, 18 breweries in town, 18 in planning, because I remember the numbers
And
matched.
you had to think about where am I going to fit in that marketplace.
Right.
I mean, as a brand, I mean, there's room for new breweries, but that's a unique challenge when there are 20 already going or so, and
Right.
however many more come every day. You turn around, somebody thinks they want to open a new brewery.
Right.
And some of them will succeed, and some of them won't, even in Charlotte, where you've got a good market to support it.
Right. Yeah, so I literally was one day walking around my family room. People would have thought I belonged in a straitjacket or something, just trying to figure out what we were going to do, and it just hit me. Let's do mead, or let's do ciders, and then one more round around that family room, and I said, let's do meads as well.
Had you done meads as well before on your own, or just knew it kind of came with it?
I have never made a mead in my life.
Okay.
But we have Kevin Martin and Rob Adams, who are fantastic mead makers.
So you're not the mead maker, you're the cider.
I'm the cider maker.
Okay.
Yes, I take no credit for the meads, but they are delicious.
Good, good. So well, this is a good spot, since, I mean, not exactly in order, but tell our people, everybody that does beer doesn't know cider, or particularly mead. Now, why is mead not known to people? They really don't know what that is.
It's a good question.
So why? It's been around like maybe longer than the others.
Back to the Viking days. It's been around a long, long time. I think it's just something because it's very unique. Honey's very expensive, so it's not a cheap proposition to make mead, and it is
especially to play with it and dump it and throw it away when it's not right.
Right. Yes, I mean it can be expensive. It can really cost a lot of money depending on the type of honey too. And it's just one of those things that just hasn't really, up till now, hasn't really taken off because it hasn't been available. It's kind of that catch-22. It's not available, so people aren't aware of it. It's starting to take off. More people are becoming aware of it.
Right.
People are really excited that we're making it. We just had 600 pounds of honey delivered last week, which is going to make us plenty of mead and cysers. Cysers are a combination of mead and cider.
Okay, well, you're educating me now. So a combination of a mead and a cider in a particular combination, like 50-50, or what's the percentage?
It depends. I mean, we sat around.
And that makes a ciser?
Ciser, correct.
C-I-C-Y-S-E-R. So you have learned something today from the NC Beer guys and from the folks at GoodRoad. That's on the test later, what a ciser is. Is that something you're going to do here?
Yes, there's one on tap right now.
Okay.
Yes, we have a maple mead that is blended with our Newtown Pippin single varietal.
Okay.
And we sat around last week. Sat around one afternoon and we were drinking mead, drinking cider, coming up with the blends, and it was what we called an afternoon of work.
Okay, yeah, we all know about working and drinking. That's a wonderful job to have when it requires consumption of alcohol. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about you've got open now. What is going to set you apart from what people might know and love about cider, or may know and not love so much about ciders? Why should they give ciders a try again?
We like our ciders dry. And I think all of our investors are in that same boat. Most of the ciders, large commercial ciders that are out there, made from concentrate, lots of sugar, lots of acid to try to balance all that sugar that they've added.
If people do know cider, they know the big commercial brands.
Correct.
Which are just a couple of brands, I guess.
Correct.
That everybody knows.
Yes.
But local beer and local cider they both are local, and that brings them to a whole new level of quality.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Right.
First off,
correct.
If you think you know cider and all you know is big commercial cider, you don't know cider.
Correct.
Okay.
And we have spent, I'm from Vermont, and there's, woodchuck is popular up there. I've got a lot of relatives who drink woodchuck, and then we go up there for a family vacation. We get around a table, we break out some dry ciders, and by the end of the session, they've forgotten about woodchuck, and now they like the dry cider. So it's an education. It really is, because it's a very different taste. We use a wine yeast that imparts some very different characteristics and complexity to the ciders as well.
Okay.
Fresh pressed juice. We get ours a lot of ours from Perry Low Orchards up in Taylorsville. We get some from Virginia, and then we've got some juice that we're bringing down from New Hampshire as well.
Okay.
And those make very unique ciders. They're made with apples that are called spitters.
And so on site here, we're not starting with the apples; we're starting with the juice.
Correct. We are not pressing on site.
Okay.
We're pressing at the orchard, bringing it in.
It's kind of a common thing.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the ciderists don't start with apples.
No. We looked at that, but that was a whole other 6 digits of money that we just didn't want to.
And process.
Right. And more headaches. So,
right.
I got enough headaches.
So, at any given time, we will have how many ciders we hopefully on tap?
We have 4 on tap right now. We have a.
That'll be regular, normal. Or
yes, these will be standard.
Okay.
We have a Stamen.
Is this a proper term? Is it like a flagship cider, like you'll always have the same 4?
Yes, in some fashion or another.
Okay.
We'll always have at least 2 dry ciders. We'll have a ginger cider and a hop cider. The hops may change. Right now we're using Nelson Sauvin hops from New Zealand.
But you always have a hop cider.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, so if you like your hops, you beer drinkers, don't think you can't get it in the cider.
Correct. Yes. The hops that we use are very different than a lot of the the big bomb IPAs that are out there. Where these are hops from New Zealand, and they actually bring a wine-like characteristic to the cider, so it melds really well with the cider itself.
Okay.
And the cider, the hopped and the ginger cider are actually used with a blend of apples from Perry Lowe and Taylorsville.
Okay. Now, we hope eventually in the not too future to have local accounts, people carrying your ciders, I guess.
Absolutely, that's where I come in. Absolutely,
Not yet, I assume.
No, actually, we had our first 2 sales yesterday.
Okay, so
Michael Brawley was demanding that he have the very first ever
good.
keg.
Shout out to
so
Mike
if
Brawley.
you go out to Brawley's, we've got our Stamen on tap over there.
We'll see Mike tonight at the wonderful Black and Blue.
That's right. And then Broken Spoke right down the street here that's affiliated with the Distillery took one of our kegs. So we've got a lot of other retail accounts that are ready for our stuff.
Okay.
We want to make sure, first of all, that we've got enough to support the tap room before we get out there and start blanketing.
And you don't want to overcommit.
No. Right. Last thing we want to do is sell a product that we don't have
or can't replenish.
Exactly.
When it sells out.
Right.
So we're gonna take a look at our inventories here, and then Brian and I will decide when it's a good idea to start hitting some of these. And it'll be soon.
And does that lead in the not too distant future to packaging?
Yes.
Is that kind of in the plan?
Yeah.
It is.
I know it's in a 5-year plan. Is it sooner than that?
This year.
Oh, this year we're package.
This year we'll be packaging. Right now, obviously in kegs, and our next step will probably move to bottles. The everyday ciders will be typical 6-packs in all likelihood, and then the juice from like New Hampshire, that's a specialty cider, will probably be corked and cage or 750 ml bottles.
Okay. Right.
And we'll target some of the higher end restaurants with those. Because it's going to be what we consider a little higher end cider. So it can be...
What's that going to retail for? A bottle, maybe even in roughly.
It'd probably be in that $14 to $17 range.
And that's what people are used to paying for high-end beer too. So that's not out of their range.
Right. Yeah, it's
but it's
within
not
that
what
realm.
you pay in the grocery store.
Correct.
Right. Yeah. We realize we have to compete with against the breweries as well, price-wise, and we can do that based on the product we're making.
As you said, you've got to educate people too. They're not buying woodchuck cider.
Correct.
And they're not paying woodchuck prices.
Correct.
You're just not going to be able to do that. You can't sustain yourself on that.
No.
But as soon as they understand why. And that it's local, that you can pitch it that way, and the quality's there.
Right.
But all that takes on your shoulders, that sales and education.
That's my responsibility.
That education effort's got to be there. Because people just don't know cider.
Right.
So the people that ran last night, I know it was lots of friends and family and people that were anxious to see you guys do well. But the people that just kind of came in because it was cider, did they know cider? Do they know what they're doing when they order a cider?
Most of them think they do, which is good.
At least they're willing and they're in the door.
And I spent a lot of time just kind of asking people questions last night. I said, "Hey, are you a cider drinker?" And they said, "Well, yeah, kind of." And so that gives us a really good opportunity because one of our big things is education, and we want to make sure that everybody understands that there are differences in the types of ciders that are available out there. So what we're finding is, and which is what we're happy to see, is that they're coming in and they really like the dry product. It's not that they don't dislike a sweeter product, but they feel like they can only drink maybe one. Here they can come in and drink more than just one and have some varieties of that. And so that's our goal, is to make sure that we educate as many of these people as possible and have them come back and enjoy
Bring them
it.
back next time.
Yeah.
Good.
The best part about last night is for every person that walked through the door that I knew, there was 3 I didn't.
That's great.
Yeah, so we are out there. People are becoming aware of us, and it was great just to see all these new faces just trying. And as Rick said, we were just educating the market about what a dry cider, how good a dry cider can taste.
Yeah.
And then it's going to sell itself at some point.
Right.
Yeah. That's going to feel great.
That's going to be nice.
Makes
my job easier.
Work you out of the job. That's right. Right.
We'll keep them busy.
Yeah, calling all these accounts will keep him busy.
Oh, yeah.
Once it hits, if people know it's available.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll be coming to you. That'd be great. That'd be good. We're going to go drink some cider off camera. Thanks.
Sounds good.
Cheers.
Thanks so much for having us in.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Good having you.
The best of luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So next time, this is David again. Remind you when you're in Charlotte, make sure you hit out the GoodRoad Ciderworks. I about said Good Cider Roadworks. That's going to get my head around that. Okay? Yeah, it's just cider. It's just cider. Until next time, this is David again. Remind you to drink local and keep your beer dollars in North Carolina.